Welcome back to another episode of Songs, Secrets and Magic. I'm your host, Ezra Nixon. Now, today's song, I was going to call it Niche, but it was actually on a double platinum record. Kansas, Hopelessly Human. Now, this song is unreal. This song is unreal. And we're only going to look at a small section of it because it's a very long, complicated song. Lots of different sections. Arrangements like you've never heard. It's just pure Kansas magic. Now, it's a perfect example of a chord progression that seems to sort of like beautifully do as it pleases, and it just steps around and just transitions in such a way it's almost like he didn't even notice it did it. It's a strange aberration, this brainstorm of youth, though it's lost in translation from fancy to truth. It's hopelessly human, both inside and out, a joyous occasion, no reason to doubt. What once was illusion is calling me now. Oh, it is so good. It is so good. It's easy somehow. What once was elusive is calling me now. Now, before we even talk about the incredible harmonic magic, the magic ingredients, before we even get into that, we're going to just look at these lyrics. And this is something I don't do often, like drums. You know, I might, if I'm really impressed with the drum beat, I will talk about it. If I'm really impressed with lyrics, I'll talk about it. But what we look at here in Songs, Secrets and Magic is less to do with lyrical content and textural content. We touch on it, production, all that, whatever. But we look at the magic source in the chords, in the melodies, and just the general composition, the concept of the track. These are the secrets. These are the secrets that you're looking for. But these have to be talked about, these lyrics. It's a strange aberration, this brainstorm of youth, though it's lost in translation from fancy to truth. It's hopelessly human, both inside and out, a joyous occasion there's no reason to doubt. It's easy somehow, what once was elusive is calling me now. Take a bow. Whoever wrote those lyrics, Steve Walsh, Robbie Steinhardt, one of them, maybe it was Kerry Livgren, one of them wrote those lyrics. Take a bow. Beautiful poetry. So A minor, we've got this classic minor 1-5-1 harmonic minor thing going on. Remember, if you obsess about where something belongs in the key, trying to justify its home in the system, you're going to have a bad time, because it's just not a fluid way to look at how music functions. You have to look at it in the moment. You have to look at its relationship to what's around it at that time. I mean, there's so much going on here. So it's this classic harmonic minor, and then stretches it up to this D minor, and back to this A minor. You know, we're looking. It's very. It's fairly textbook at this point, and then we have this lovely little climb from our minor tonality, from our tonal center. Remember, tonal center and key, two different things. We're here. Oh. A major. A major. So there's two things I want to talk about here. We've got this dark world, light world thing. This is something I like to talk about a lot, is the dark world and the light world. You know, we got our dark world. And then we've we've stepped into the light world. We've stepped into the light world. And just when you think you're about to go back to the dark world, though it's lost in translation, from fantasy to truth. No, fancy to truth. So now we've got a parallel major effect. We've stepped into A major. So straight on the nose, we've the song has danced its way around somehow fluidly to land back on A, an A major from A minor. And in that little space, it's not just, the song isn't just prattling about. It's weaving. It's weaving us back to the same place, to A major. And within this space, we've got the light world, the dark world thing. There's so much going on here. And this is... So we're back at the same idea now. We've gone with this lovely A major. Somehow, don't even ask me how, because I'm not sure. But with this A major now, we've got this transition from A major to C minor. There's a few things to pay attention to here, because the C minor, the move to C minor is bold. We're establishing a new tonal center. I think it's more important to talk about tonal center than key signature sometimes, because of getting bogged down in trying to justify where something belongs, talking about key signatures all the time and all that sort of jazzy stuff, talking about jazz, tonalities. Let's just look at tonal center. Let's just look at what we know, what we actually know. One thing to pay note to for this gnarly chord progression, the chord change, is it's going up. We've reached home, a different kind of home, because obviously we're A major, but it was still tonally, our tonal center still belonged on A, and now we're re-establishing our tonal center up to C minor. That is a minor third jump. That's what we call tertiary modulation, because it's a very natural movement. But you've got this amazing effect where instead of being A minor, it's A major. So our major third in this A major, our C sharp, comes down, and we've got this effect going on here. And then we're back into the... Now it's a slight... We've stepped into C minor, and we're going to hear the same kind of idea, but there has been some evolution. There's been some change, some change here. It's hopelessly human, and then we got this. So it's the same thing again. So we've got this G major and this B flat minor. So it's the same. It's a da da ba ba. It's creating this. It's creating this dance. This shape. Repeating the harmonic idea. It's created shape. It's a dance. You got to think of it like a dance. And then when we come down to this F major to sort of keep this sort of dance going, we actually land on an F sus4 suspended. It just means that we take whatever third we're dealing with, or if it's major or minor, in this case major, and we suspend it to create tension. That's the general function of a suspended chord. So and then some gnarly diminished up to a minor. So we've got an interesting pattern here. We've got it's following this chromatic movement, and then each note in the chromatic scale is getting dressed with a chord. Major, chromatic, major, chromatic, major. It's a kind of compacted, aggressive movement through the harmony. It's like it's being dragged through the mud. It's being ruthlessly dragged through the mud to reach this A here, and then this lovely transition. Now there's a few things to talk about here. This A major is acting like we could debate what this A major is doing. We could debate all day what this A major is doing. The way I see it, it's kind of acting as though we're in the key of F major, and we've got a dominant, third degree, a dominant third degree. That's how I see it, because it transitions into this B flat as a fourth, and this C major as a fifth, and then back to our new home. We found a new home here at D, but it is not D minor. It is not D minor. It is D major. This is a cool thing because I've heard this called a few different things before, where the anticipated return to our minor tonality gets kind of like overthrown with this uplifting major thing. You know, you'll hear this in film music, you'll hear this all over the place really. But I think what I knew it to be called, my music teacher told me this was called Ts de Picardie, which is, I don't know what it means exactly, but I know that it relates to the third, and in this discussion here, our third has been stretched up to an F sharp from an F natural. So those of you who have played Ocarina of Time will know this, because it's something that is used in the ocarina music. And this, in the case of this song, it just keeps going as well. I mean, the song is so incredible. The crusty, amazing violins and the keyboards and the production and just the strings. I think it Mellotron or Chamberlain strings. This song, this whole album, but we're not going to talk about the album. We're talking about the song here, because I was listening to it the other day, and I just couldn't believe how good it was. Go and listen to it. Think about what we've talked about. Go and listen to it. You know, and if you see it differently, you know, if you're someone who has experience with you know, harmony and whatnot, you know, and you see it differently, you know, it is not a stone thing. Music is not a stone thing. Music is up for debate massively. You know, you got different schools that look at it different ways. You know, I like to take from all of it. You know, I love, in certain contexts, I like the kind of jazzier way of looking at things. We're searching for where things belong, you know, in the key signature and kind of all the ludicrous extended chords and all that shit. Like, I like that stuff. And then when it comes to looking for the magic and the magic ingredients, then I prefer to look at it in the moment. I don't want to get bogged down searching for where things belong. Go and listen to it. Go and listen to it right now. Episode 5. Songs, Secrets, Magic. I'm Ezra Nixon. And that was Kansas, Hopelessly Human. A small section of Kansas, Hopelessly Human. Peace.